The clouds look ominous for sure, but I've got a video to make, so I think it's not gonna rain until I get done. Hey, I'm out here at the job site again. I just happened to run into the plumber who's been doing the plumbing, and if you were with me the other day, you would have seen that there was no plumbing yet. They were getting ready to install the plumbing. And see, here he's got some of the plumbing done. Yes, sir. Here's a couple drain lines. Here's another one. There's a couple more there. There's some over there. There's some over there. And see, he's got the some of it done. He's not done yet. He said he still has more stuff to do. I'm gonna get up here. You see there? And I'm gonna get down. I don't want to get hurt. And he's starting to drill holes in here and install his pipes and stuff. And I was talking to him, and yes, of course, there's a couple air conditioning registers, a couple air conditioning units that are going to be sitting here. We're in the 3-car garage here. There's a fourth car garage over there. That's going to be for a big old motorhome. And as you pull the first car in right here, they're going to have 2 air conditioning, heating and air conditioning units. Oh, it's starting to sprinkle on me. And then I asked him, I said, you can put the water heaters in the garage? Yes, there's going to be 2 big, huge tankless water heaters up on the wall. And that's what his pipes are for. See, no copper. No copper lines. It's just this white stuff. Isn't that something? And that's going to be installed there. And so he's got he's got another 4 or 5 evenings, he said. He's trying to fit this in between some of his other jobs, and he's a friend of the owner's, and the owner wants him to do the plumbing for him. And so after his other plumbing work, he comes out here. He was here all weekend. Here it is, Sunday night. And he's got some of his work already done. Now Monday after work, he's going to come out here. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then he should be ready for an plumbing inspection. And so I'll get down in here and show you more of that later. Okay, but see the importance of the framers marking out the walls. See, he had to mark out the walls. See those 2 black lines with the X? That's where the wall's going to go, and it goes on through there. So he had to figure out where his drain lines and his vent lines are going to be going up, so that they fit inside the wall. So that once they put all of the plywood down, then when they snap their walls to build the interior walls and the exterior walls and all that kind of stuff, all the plumbing is already going to fit inside the walls. Did you see that lightning strike over there? It's going to thunder here in a minute. And anyways, see where this 2x4 is here. That's not where the wall is. The wall is next to it. Boom, boom. See? There's going to be a line there. X marks the spot. That's where the wall is going to go. And so he's going to have the hot and cold water line coming up here. I didn't see any drain. I says, hey, where's the drain? He says, oh, that's for the shower. And I thought, oh, that's right. SH drain, shower drain is going to be right in here, and he's going to wait to do that after they do the plywood. But he's already got the pipes in underneath. But where the shower drain comes up, he'll do that after they do the plywood floor. Okay, and see, here's those bracket things like that, and see, there's a strap that goes underneath here, and then it ratchets it up on the side, and you just zip it up, and then there's holes on here, and he's got a nail right there into the bottom of the TJI and for the top of the TJI right there. See how they do it? Years ago, they didn't do that. You'd have to put a 2x4, nail a 2x4 here, go down, metal strap around it or whatever you do. But nowadays, they don't do that. And I was right. The main sewer line is going to be way over there. And so he's got to have enough drop from this point all the way down there. And I said, what's the code for the drop? How far does your pipe have to go down? 1/4 inch per foot. And so see, wherever he started, this is where he started. Right here, this is gonna be a drain line, probably for the mechanical heaters, and this is where he's going to have the tankless water heaters, and for some reason there's going to be a drain here or a vent or something. And see how high it is right here? Then it goes down, and he's got to keep it up high because you got to have 1/4 inch per foot, meaning every foot that goes down your drain line, which is this drain line here, has to go down 1/4 inch. So 10 feet. Oh, what is that? 2.5 inches, 1/4 inch per foot. 4 feet is 1 inch. And so the main plumbing line that goes out is way over there. And that brought me up to the other question. I said, hey, are you putting a utility sink out in the garage? Most garages, if you know, nowadays, they install a utility sink out here. And he said, hey, that's a good point. I don't think there is. And I don't have any plans out here or anything like that. I don't think there is. But usually, if there's nothing there, he said there is as you come in the house. Here's the first garage here. You pull in. There's going to be steps right there, I'm sure, next to where his tankless water heaters are going to be, and that'll be the entrance from the garage into the house. Okay, and one of the first things is going to be like a wet room, and he's going to have a sink in there, and you know, that's just the way they did it, and I don't really like that type of way, but the way that this house is lined up, and because the sewer line is way down there, think about it. If he had a utility sink in here, what would he have to do? Well, first off, they would have not been able to install this stem wall, this concrete stem wall, all the way up that high. First off, because where the utility sink is, you'd have to have a drain for it. So if the utility sink sat down here, now mind you, they still have to pour concrete. So once they put the gravel in here and pour the concrete and all that kind of stuff for the garage floor, I'm saying this is probably going to be about the height of the garage floor. So your drain would probably be, you know, a foot higher than that if you had a utility sink here, which means the drain would be so low down in here, I don't think there would be enough fall to get it all the way over to there for the drain line to come out of the house. Do you see what I mean? And so the architect, he probably realized that and thought, hey, I can't do that. We're going to have to put, oh, did you see that lightning over there? He thought we're going to have to put just a sink inside the house, and it's just not going to be in the garage. Okay, and so different things you've got to think about. I'm gonna walk you over that way. We'll see some more plumbing pipes over here and stuff, and I'll talk a little bit as we go. And remember, the last video I showed you, the guys had dug a hole underneath the footing, and they put that black pipe in there. Hear the thunder now? And see, that black pipe is just to there. And I asked the plumber, I said, what's that for? And he says, that's where the main water line's going to come in from the street. So they'll have to dig a footing or a trench from there all the way down over there and tie it in over there. And that black ABS pipe, it's just basically a sleeve. So when they take the main water line, they'll have a main gate valve out here and all that kind of stuff. But to run it into the house, they'll just slip it through that. They won't connect anything to that black pipe. Do you see what I mean? Okay. So back to this plumbing. let's just see what they've got coming up here. Here's a little bit of the plumbing. Here's some more. Here's some more over here, and that kind of thing. And hey, that's why you've got to have the plans and figure out all this stuff. So see, yeah, when they've installed the floor, they've got to cut out for all of these different things now, and it's really the best way to do it at this point. Okay, that way the plumbers don't have to crawl underneath the house, and the inspector doesn't have to crawl underneath the house. Here, remember they got a hose bib here. He just was doing the some of the rough work first. Of course, he's not done yet. He'll have to have that stubbed out and capped off and that. And I'm gonna take you over here. We'll see what they've got going over here. See, here's some of the hot and cold water lines he's already got installed. Man, he had to do a little bit of work just to get it over here, didn't he? And see how these lines are? The hot water is the one with the red writing on it. The blue writing is the cold water. And the other thing to realize too, if you don't know much about plumbing, you know, hopefully you're watching. You always put the hot water side as you're facing the wall to the left, obviously, the cold water to the right. And I've seen some places, sometimes if you do a Jack and Jill bathroom, which means a back-to-back bathroom, sink on the wall or something, maybe the line coming in underneath the cabinet is the very opposite. So the hot water's on the right-hand side, the cold water's on the left. And then you've got to have the plumbers remember to hook up your sink and flip-flop the sink connections down there, because if they don't, when you turn the cold water on, you're going to have hot water and vice versa. Okay, now see here's some more of the pipes coming through here. See how that pipe is a really big pipe there. Look at that. And see how low it is to the ground, and that's because the main plumbing is going to come right out of here, and the sewer line somewhere is on this side of the property over here, because this property's on a corner lot. They decided to put the sewer connection over here, and that was probably good because the street goes downhill. The main sewer line is downhill. Why on earth would you want to put it way up here where it would have to come all the way around? I guess that's just kind of how it did. Okay, so see this? This is the guy has already, the plumber had already figured out how far to make his pipes come down. So see, here's his main connections right here. Oh, look how he had to do this one here. See, he used the same type of bracket, and it wasn't tall enough, was it? So he just nailed a 2x4 on the bottom of this, and then he nailed his little bracket on that. Okay, and then he came up from there. I guess that's okay. Usually when you're doing a 90 from here to here, you do a long sweep 90. But he ran some quarter turn elbows. I don't know if the inspector's going to buy that. I guess he will. I mean, this guy should know what he's doing. But lots of times I like long sweep 90s. You see how that one's curved out of there? That's called a long sweep 90. That way, if anybody ever had to snake the line out, the snakes would go through there through a 90-degree turn, because see, from there to there, that's a 90-degree angle, even though he cut it off at a 45. But anywho, it's very interesting to see how people do things. And see that right there? That's called a long sweep 90. And that way the water and the sewer curves around. Now see what he has right there? You know what that is? That's a clean out. It's just capped off with the threaded head on it right there. And that's so if your plumbing line ever gets clogged up, somebody can come in underneath the house, they can undo that, and then they can fish their plumbing snake through that and for it to come out. Do you see what I mean? Now see what he had to do? I don't know if they formed that or if he had to cut that. See, there's a concrete footing that goes all the way across there, and they actually had to cut a notch in it to allow the plumbing pipe to come down there. They couldn't have that any higher. They couldn't have raised that 4-inch ABS plumbing pipe any higher because they wouldn't have gotten the fall from there all the way down to there, because remember, 1/4 inch per foot. And so he had to do some measuring to get these all figured out, didn't he? It's quite the thing to do plumbing if you don't know how to do it and you're trying to figure it out yourself and all this other kind of stuff. Easier said than done, but for plumbers, hey, they do this stuff all the time. They know what they're doing and all that kind of stuff. So see, they know what they're doing. Here's a shot. Oh, this is for a tub, and the drain line will come up over there. It comes across here, and then it zips down there. Then it zips that way, because everything goes downhill. See, and then they come up, and then they'll put vents that go up. Okay, and you got to get all this stuff in the walls, and these will be 2x6 walls around the edge. So see, that's going to set there once he straps that down, and that'll be right inside the wall, because see, here's the edge of the 2x6 coming through here. See, it's all quite fascinating, really. You know, when you start looking at all this stuff. And that's why I'm showing it to you, just so that you know how things go together, what the sequence is. Look at this weather. This is kind of awesome. It's cold out here a little bit. We're already into June, and I don't know what's going on with this weather. See here, at the end, usually at the end of certain lines, the main trunk line is this 4-inch. This is 4-inch ABS, and then when it goes up further, then they'll probably reduce it to a 3-inch. In fact, all the way down there, I think it started at a 3-inch, and then it will come to a 4-inch, because you've got all the other sewer lines connecting into here. So see how big that pipe is? It's huge. But then the offshoot pieces, see this piece here that goes over there, you're catching all these different things to the trunk line, but see, you only had to use a 2-inch line here that ties into a 4-inch. So then you get the reducers and all that kind of stuff. Well, anyways, from this point up, because this is going to be kind of the end of this line, if these drains ever get clogged up in here before the 4-inch pipe, you see there, right down there, there's another clean out. See, you take that out, and that's a threaded cap. Maybe I can show it to you a little bit better right there. It's not really showing up, but there's a cap right there, and you unscrew that, and then you can run your plumbing fish tape through there and unplug it. And see, throughout the plumbing underneath the house, that's what you do. He's got it all figured out. He's got it all figured out, and it looks like he's getting there, but he still has a ways to go, because he said, he told me this afternoon, he says, oh, I got 4 or 5 evenings out here of doing more things, because, you know, just because he's got a drain line, he still has to do some strapping. He still has to run the hot and cold water lines. There's probably some more drain lines that have to be figured. I doubt he's got them all, because I mean, we're talking a big, huge area here. And if there's a second floor on top of here, then you got to figure out where your vent lines go up through the walls and how you're gonna do your drain lines up there. So I'm not really sure if this is going to be a 2-story. Lots of the houses around here are 2-story, but I mean, this is a lot of square footage down here. But I kind I'm guessing it's going to be a two-story house. Now see the hot and cold water lines, because you don't use copper anymore. See how he can just bend it? Look at that. You just bend it like that, and it works out really good. You know, you don't have any couplings per se. Obviously, when he gets to here, he'll probably have to do something there, but we'll see. It'll be interesting how he puts his fittings on there and gets different things connected. I was thinking maybe that was one of the fittings, but it's not. And anyways, you also notice that he's drilled holes through the TGI floor joist. See? Right there. He's done it over there. And he had to do it all the way through there to get all those different lines through there, right? And see, you can drill holes through these. And remember I told you there was knockouts on the TGIs? He said, well, most of the time we don't even use those, because if whoever forms this, whoever installs all the floor joists, you'd have to really know where the knockouts are on your floors. See, there's one right there. See it? See that one right there? See it? And then there's another one right in there. If you don't lay your floor joists out exactly right, all your holes aren't lined up every 16 inches for your floor joists. You know what I mean? So he says, we don't even mess with those. We just drill our own holes. But you know, again, you have to figure out, you have to know what the code is before you start drilling holes. Well, he knows what the codes are. And if you're using TGIs for the first time, make dead sure you know where you can drill holes, where you can't drill holes, how big of a hole you can put, and can you drill big huge holes right out in the middle of a TGI floor joist? Will the floor joist still hold? And you know, if you don't know, go down to the building department. They'll tell you. But the no-nos are for TGI floor joists like this. These are probably 7-8 inches tall. I mean, they have them 12 inches tall, 10 inches tall, 14 inches tall, whatever it is. Main thing to know is you cannot cut the top or the bottom for anywhere where the where it's spanning, or else you're going to weaken it. That's what gives it the strength. Well, also the webbing middle gives it the strength too. But I mean, there's certain things you can do, certain things you can't do. Okay, so I'm not going to sit here and tell you exactly which holes you can drill, how big the holes, how many you can drill, and all that kind of stuff. You're going to have to find that out from whoever's designing your house. If you're the owner builder, talk to the guy who drew your house plans, you know, or you contact the building department when you submit your plans for a permit. Okay, so hey, it's going. I wanted to get out here before tomorrow night, because the plumber said, oh yeah, for the next 3 or 4 evenings, 4 or 5 evenings, he's going to be out here trying to button up this whole job. And I don't want to be in his way, but yet I still want to show you the progress and stuff. And I don't want to disturb them as they keep going. You know what I mean? Okay, so this is what it's going to look like so far. And you remember, after that, the air conditioning guy has to come. He's got to put all of his ducts in there. And for that, what I wanted to mention was, I talked to the plumber, and no, he's only doing plumbing. He's only doing the plumbing. He's not doing the mechanical. But there's lots of contractors who, if you know somebody who you trust or you've worked with before or whatever, if he's a mechanical plumbing contractor, that means he can do all your air conditioning, your heating and air conditioning, and your plumbing. If you don't do that, you've got more coordinating. Does that make sense? Because you have to coordinate everything with the plumber. Then you have to coordinate everything with the air conditioning guy. Sometimes an air conditioning guy is licensed and they do their own plumbing too. Then if you found somebody like that, you'd only have to coordinate with one guy. Does that make sense? And it would cut your time down tremendously if you get a really super good price from him. You see what I'm saying? And so another something to consider. Okay, see how this line here, this is probably 1.25 inches. Yeah, 1.25 inch. Right there, I can see it. I don't know if you can see that or not. That means 1.25 inches. And that's going to be his main water line. It'll zip down from there and it'll slide out through that sleeve. So the whole house is going to be run by 1.25 inch water line. Lots of times you're coming from the main water source, from the county, the city, whatever. Usually it's 1.25 inches I've seen, and then they'll take it into the house, and then they have to figure out, they'll reduce it. Going to certain areas, they might reduce it down to 3/4, then they might reduce it down to 5/8, and then they might reduce it down to 1/2 inch, depending somewhere else. That way you get the same water pressure throughout your entire house. You see what I mean? And only the plumbers know. The plumbers know how to do that. That's not going to be on the plans. No isometric drawing is going to be on the plans. No plumbing dimensions and size pipes and all that kind of stuff is going to be on the plans. Whoever's doing the plumbing, he's supposed to know all that stuff. Okay, and that's kind of how that works for residential plans. Okay, well, there's that thunder going again. Okay, well, that's all I got. Oh, that's all I got for this time. But I'll be back with more videos, and I'll show you more plumbing next time I'm out here. And probably at that time, or before, you know, after they get all done, I'll probably break down and I'll get down underneath the house, you know, underneath the floor, and I'll kind of show you a little bit closer, more closely, how the plumbing looks and the fittings and how it's angled and all that kind of stuff. I don't want to get down there now. The guy's not even close to being done just yet, okay? But I'll get down in there and show you a little bit more so that you can see how the plumbing works and all that for a house, okay? Hey, perfect timing. It's starting to rain on me right as we speak. See you next time. Well, I think that's all I got to say about that for today. But I'll see you next time with more videos. I hope you're enjoying these. If you are, please continue to watch my videos, how to build a house.